Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun plopped on the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal and watch all your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris. I didn't really have anything cool to do this time. I usually lately I've been doing something cool, and then I realized I didn't have anything, and I panicked.
I'm Chris.
I'm scared, guys. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Help me! I don't know what 2022 is going to be like.
I'm so scared.
Save me.
This morning, to wrap up the year, we took a look back at everything we reviewed during 2021 and gave out our 10 individual Serial-rific awards. Welcome, everyone, to the 3rd annual Spoony Awards.
I don't know why I did the John Cena.
Are we taking it? Okay.
Whatever, he's invisible. He can't see that we did it.
He's not blind, he's invisible. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I guess let's just kick it right off, man. Because last year we only did 8.
Yeah.
We only did 8 last year. This time we're doing the full 10.
We're bringing the 10 back.
So
the big 10.
A lot of them are going to be the same as last year. So the first one we open with the First Bite Award, which is Best Intro.
Okay.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to? I think we should alternate, but I don't know who wants to start.
Alternate. You go ahead. I feel like maybe we'll have the same one for this one, but I would love for you to start.
Okay, yeah, maybe we're on the same page here. So for me, and part of it's probably pure nostalgia, but the theme song that still gets me super pumped and has so much energy to it is the X-Men animated series song. Is that the same one you chose?
Heck yeah.
Okay, yeah. How can you not?
Yeah, dude.
So good. Just to, I guess, refer people back to the episode where we actually watched this. It was episode 241, and the X-Men animated series came out in 1992. So let's talk about it. So why did you choose this too?
Oh man, because I mean, what's not to like? Like, there's nothing that's gonna get you more hyped than an intro song done by Ron Wasserman or Wasserman. I don't know, but like the same guy did one of the intros for Dragon Ball Z. He did Power Rangers. Like, those are such memorable songs. Like,
oh yeah,
he just mastered that guitar riff, that like 90s energy, angsty guitar that like all little kids wanted to hear, to like just get into the mood to want to see like laser beams shoot through things. He just nailed it.
Yeah. This was, by definition, what a 90s theme song was and should have been, because it got you really excited to see what was happening. Even if the episode that came afterwards was pretty like pale in comparison to what the theme song offered, it got you ready for anything.
Yeah.
And I love this intro specifically too, not just because of the theme song, but also the way that all the characters are introduced. Like, you got their name in that like nice fashion, a stylized fashion,
yes.
And then you get an example of their powers too. Any of the characters who are going to live through the first episode anyway, sorry, Morph.
Yeah, Morph wasn't in the intro, and there's very good reason for it. But like, yeah, it's almost like, and what I thought was cool about it too is some of those main X-Men characters, do get their own comics and stuff, especially Wolverine. So some of them have their own sort of logos like already, but some of them don't have their own stylized logos in the comics and things. So it's cool to see them each get that treatment in the beginning. So it's like showing the character using their powers, and they get this big like comic book cover like title treatment with their name above, like Rogue, and even Jean Grey, who was the least interesting character in the entire show, even though she's great in the comics. Even and Professor X, even though his was really lame when they did his, it was just like they took Ariel Rounded and made it yellow.
Yeah.
But Gambit's looked amazing. Oh my God, his was great.
Yes, Gambit's was so cool.
Beast looked awesome. It was just so good.
And you also had the like confrontation at the end, which is like dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
and then like the enemies going up against the heroes, and also Warpath, who was one of the heroes, but he was on the villain side because he needed to balance it out.
Yeah, they're just like,
which is kind of funny.
Yeah, they're just like,
throw him over there.
They're like, hey, let's just throw this dude in here. You know, nobody's going to recognize him anyway. And we're all like, why did they put Warpath over there? He's one of ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like they all just collide into each other. And as soon as they hit, you get the X-Men like thing on the screen. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's so good. It's just great. Hey, speaking of intro songs, listeners, prepare yourselves for a new intro song for our podcast coming on the next episode.
Are we starting it now or next episode?
Next episode, new intro song. There you go, friends.
Cool.
Get ready.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Because I'm taking a cue from 90s cartoons and anime and everything and kind of combined it all into one.
It's literally just the X-Men song.
Yeah, yeah. All of a sudden, you're just gonna hear and you're gonna be like, what? What? He can't do that.
Is this like a Vanilla Ice situation? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's not mine's da. So it's totally different.
Exactly.
Cartoon boom.
Oh, okay. So are you ready to move on to the next award?
Let's go to the next award.
Okay, the next one, because I'm going to stick to the order that we did it last year, is Most Nostalgic, which is the Still Crunchy Award. Do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, it's the same one. I put X-Men the animated series.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah. All the awards are going to the X-Men animated series. Just all 10 of them. That's it.
Yeah. It's such a good show, though. At least we're getting it out of the way now. Our love for X-Men, the animated series, we'll get it out of here.
Right. So, I mean, what else is there to see about it besides, like, so much of it has stuck with me over the years. Like, this is what we literally grew up with. And it was just fun reliving it again and revisiting some of our favorite characters and least favorite characters. There are things that definitely don't hold up about it, but again, this is most nostalgic. So it's like, yeah, I just got like that warm, nostalgic feeling watching this again.
Mm-hmm.
And to reiterate what I was talking about during the actual episode, this was a franchise that my dad and I bonded over when I was a kid, and we still talk about it sometimes today. So needless to say, it holds a special place in my heart, and there's a reason why I gave it the most nostalgic award.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has its flaws. It's not the best cartoon ever made, but like at the time, it was great. It was like a huge gateway into the world of Marvel for me and superheroes for sure. It was between that and Batman, the animated series, is what got me interested into comics and changed pretty much the course of my life. Like that's what got me into becoming a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this show gets my nostalgia running on all cylinders every time. Like even just talking about it, thinking about all the characters, my favorite episodes, just like I feel like a kid again thinking about all that blue and yellow spandex. And I could go on for hours about how much I love that show. And like, I seriously think I have so many episodes just memorized from beginning to end. And I can think of like all of the different action figures that accompany the series and all of the knockoff, like, you know, the different versions, because there's 80 different versions of Wolverine that they did for those toys so they could keep selling toys.
Yeah.
But I love it all.
Wolverine.
I love every aspect of it. It's just so good.
Yeah, this is one that I keep going back to too, as far as the voices go. Like, just like the Batman animated series, where Kevin Conroy is the voice that I hear when I read Batman comics, these are often voices that I hear when I read X-Men comics as well. Still to this day.
Absolutely.
So it sticks with you like that.
I was going to say, like, Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, not Morph, but Beast, Rogue, Professor X, all of them. Gambit. Oh, absolutely. Gambit. Yes. All of them. Like those are the voices in my head and they always will be. That makes me sound like I'm crazy. These are the voices in my head and they'll always be there.
They always talk to me.
They're always there. Help.
So, okay. So, yeah, that was our still crunchy award because it will always be crunchy to us, the nostalgia that it holds.
Yeah.
Good job, X-Men Animated Series.
Great job.
2 in a row. The next award we have is the Shiny Spoon Award, which is Best Design in Animation. And this might be where we differ. I'm not sure what you chose, but I'll go first. So I chose what we did for episode 245, which was Glitch Text from 2020. I just love the clean, like stylized animation of this series. It's utilizes a pretty bright color palette, like it's kind of neon colors, which is right up my alley. And it's loaded with references, the show in general, like Pokemon, Ghostbusters, Aliens, Final Fantasy, Castlevania, etc. And some of those references tie into the animation style itself, like for the Castlevania episode Castle Crawl, where it literally goes into a 2D platform perspective as they're doing the boss fight.
That's fun.
So it's a show made for like both gamers and cartoon fans, and it's an easy win for me for this year's animation.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can agree with that. And I'm going to be honest, there's several categories this year. I feel like this is the first year I really struggled hard with picking my winners, because usually with most of these, the last couple years, everything's felt very cut and dry per what I wanted to choose for the categories. But this year has been the hardest one. So I do want to mention, as I do this, a few honorable mentions for some of these. And this was one of the categories I really struggled with, because we watched so many good looking shows and movies this year. I did not pick Glitch Text, but that absolutely was going to be one of my honorable mentions for this, as well as the Polar Express, which we had just done recently, because it looks so cool. It looks so good. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. And
then also another one who I just totally now forgot about.
Donkey Kong Country is what you're thinking.
No. It wasn't Donkey Kong Country. I can tell you that much. But the one that I did choose though was Samurai Jack, and I'll tell you my reasoning for that. I got to give it up for Genndy Tartakovsky. Last year I talked a lot about Primal and how amazing that looked, but a lot of the things that made Primal so good, like you can see a lot of that still in this show in Samurai Jack. And Samurai Jack was one that we did. I think that was episode 233. So if you want to go back, listen to that episode. It's not only just about the look of everything, the character designs and the colors and stuff, because those are great. And they progress too, because they were good from the get-go. But then you get that last season and it is masterful looking. It
my God,
completely just revives everything about that show. And that's Tartakovsky at the top of his game in that final season of Samurai Jack, because it's also the direction. So it's like just the way that everything is posed on the screen and how it's animated. Oh my God. It's beautiful. Every way that everything is framed looks amazing. It's just visually stunning throughout that entire last season. And it gives me a new appreciation for the rest of that show, because you go back and watch and you can see a lot of that too. So it's just, it was so good. So I had to give it to Samurai Jack.
Completely agree. That would have been my second place for sure. And I think I actually gave it to Primal last year for similar reasons.
Yeah.
So I completely get that. So the next award we gave out was the Exotic Flavor Award, which we didn't give last year because we didn't watch enough animes last year.
Yeah.
But this year, I think we watched at least 3. So it was Best Anime. Do you want to go first on this one?
Sure. And I think this is where we're going to have some overlap, just knowing you. So I picked Dragon Ball Z. This was episode 238 for our review.
Same.
I figured, man. I figured as much. But again, I do want to, I struggled here too, because I think everybody that knew that we covered Dragon Ball Z this last year is probably like, oh yeah, of course they picked Dragon Ball Z. But like, I almost didn't choose it. I almost chose The Devil as a Part-Timer, because that show
it was tough.
Was so good. I'm so glad we got introduced to it, and I loved it so much. The thing is, like, DBZ's got everything, man. It's got the lovable characters, it's got the action, it's got humor, and it's got tons of lore behind it, and it's all backed up by Akira Toriyama's art style. So, I mean, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, man. This was tough for me too, because all the other shows we watched, we did Soul Eater, Devil's a Part-Timer. I think those are the only 3, and Dragon Ball Z. And so the other 2 were great for different reasons, very compelling shows in and of themselves. But that's why I know like it will probably be a controversial choice for some people because of how absurdly tropey Dragon Ball Z is and how ridiculous the power levels are and the transformations get and how some episodes are devoted fully to charging up and whatever. Like, I get the memes. I understand all that. But this, like, it may have been yours, was also my entry into anime as a wee lad and even helped inspire my art style at the time. So I credit it for multiple reasons, thanks to Akira Toriyama. And I think the fact that it's still going in the form of Dragon Ball Super and still has movies that are released theatrically is a testament to the love that both old and new fans have for the franchise. So really, like, no matter how many levels of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku actually reaches, like, this anime will always be special to me. Like, that's barely an exaggeration. That's just me combining 2 of the Super Saiyan levels. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do think that's stupid as heck. Like, I think that's dumb.
It's so dumb.
But I love it. It's so stupid. I love it.
It's lovably dumb. Yeah, but so this show will always be over 9,000 to me. Like, it's so good for
nice
for so many reasons.
Speaking of things that are dumb, like, and that's the thing too, is you kind of have to you sort of have to love the tropiness too. Like, the reason that we have tropes like that are because of this show.
That's why, like, when you see like long charging up scenes, you compare it to Dragon Ball Z because it's the first place you would have seen that. It may not be the place where it first happened, but that's the most prominent place you saw it. And so it's just something that if you saw it at the right time during your childhood, it's what you will compare all other animes to. And you'll notice how much better they got, but you also see where the origin of some of the tropes and just general like power-ups and whatever are. And so I think it's worth appreciation still.
Absolutely. I agree with this.
So the 5th award is the Tears for Milk Award, which was the biggest tearjerker of the year. And honestly, I think there were only 2 this year, for me at least, that really kind of made me tear up or really hit me emotionally. So the one that I chose was our episode 240, which was Infinity Train 2019.
Nice. Well, you and I are on the same page more than I thought we were going to be this time around, because that's also what I put.
My other option would have been Polar Express because that was sentimental to me in a way. But Infinity Train hit me because I guess once an animated series starts touching on sensitive issues, like in the case of Tulip's parents getting divorced, they sort of evolve to the next level for me.
Yeah.
Especially when it's handled as well and as masterfully as they handled it in this show. Because, it's no mystery. Like, I come from a broken family myself. And I think it really would have benefited me as a kid to see something like this represented in animated media so that it could help me process it and better understand what was going on. I'm grateful for kids now that topics like this are being more widely covered, to let them know at the very least that, as unfortunate as these situations are, that they aren't the only ones experiencing this, and there is a light at the end of that dark tunnel. So for me, that was the primary reason. I know that like the show has a lot of different layers to it, but that was the specific portion of the show with Tulip's like parents going through a divorce that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, I like too that they didn't shy away from Tulip acting out as a result of it too, and like just letting her display that anger and everything. And the idea that it could easily be written off as Tulip being out of control and being angry, and that she needs to just, do what the adults say. But instead, the show lets her just have her anger and sit with it, and it stays with her for quite a while, and I think that's a really powerful thing to like allow like a child who views this or something like that to like understand it's okay to be hurt and to be angry about what hurts you, even if you know that the way you're reacting isn't necessarily the right way. It's okay as long as you understand, and trying to, like, the show tries to help help them understand, like kind of like you said, like a lot of this is a journey of her understanding her emotions and herself as a person. And the show doesn't shy away either from other really drastic moments. Like, man, like there's death in this show, and some of them hit you hard.
Well, I will say I haven't watched the whole show,
okay.
So some of that is still a mystery to me. But that's why I'm focused so much on the tulip part.
Okay,
but, like, I do believe that there's a lot more to it.
There's a couple deaths, and they will hit you hard. There's one in particular that's gonna really nail you, and it doesn't shy away from it. And there's a death like I feel like there was one death that we talked about in one of the later seasons when we watched it that was actually fairly brutal for like a show like this. And my God, like I was just so surprised that they didn't shy away from that. But and the show's got some scary stuff to it too. It's really interesting, but like the emotions are heavy in this show. But I love that. It harkens back to my love for why I loved Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, is that like the show wears its heart on its sleeve in proud display. And I love when shows do that. Another one that did that is Gravity Falls, where it just really puts it out there. Steven Universe, also another one that just really wears its heart out there for everyone to see. And I just love that so much in the cartoons that we've seen lately in the last like 10 years.
And in a weird way, David the Gnome.
Yeah. Oh God, David. No.
Once he gets to that last episode.
No, David, no. Get out of here, you stupid gnome.
Oh, David and his wife. Oh.
Ugh.
Anyway.
Never.
Yeah. So emotionally, that was the one that hit us both the hardest this year. Yes. And understandably so. It's got the most depth to it, most emotional layers. It's one that tackles mental health issues in a way that a lot of cartoons either don't approach at all or don't do well.
Like shy away from, yeah.
So the 6th award that we're handing out today is the Stale Marshmallow Award, which was the biggest disappointment. You want to go first on this one?
Sure. Thundercats Roar.
Okay, same.
Okay, there we go. It sucked. Man, that show was so bad. I had such high hopes. I had high hopes that all the naysayers would be wrong on this one, the same way that I felt about Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go was just destroyed online, and we saw it and we were like, why? This show's so great. It's so much fun. It's funny,
hilarious.
It's silly. It's great. And then we see this and we're like, okay, very similar humor. It looks like very similar aesthetic and art. Let's take a look. No, they were very right. This sucks. This is a train wreck of a cartoon. I was so disappointed in this in every way.
As a fan of the original Thundercats and the Teen Titans Go, after we watched that, I thought the fusion of the two would be fine. Like, I thought would be like, okay, this is an easy win. People are overreacting. It's not as bad as people are passing it off to be. But man, it just really let me down.
Yeah.
Because it just leaned too heavily on that slapstick humor. All the characters were completely incompetent, and it just felt like a bad imitation of similar shows. And like the jokes weren't even funny. Like it wasn't even trying to be clever. And I think that's really what made it the train wreck that ended up being, because it was all slapstick and everyone was just so dumb. Like it wasn't written well, it feels like. And so that's what really hurt it. It didn't even have like a killer song like Night Begins to Shine. Like Teen Titans did.
Where's my cool tech song?
Yeah, which could have been the redeeming quality that it desperately needed. So yeah, this one was a huge disappointment because we came in with high hopes.
Yeah, such a bummer. Like, yeah, we tried to give it benefit of the doubt, and it let us down. You know, it basically kicked our legs out from under us and then spit on us. And I'm offended by what they've done to us.
And they didn't even do it in a funny way either.
No, it wasn't even funny when they did it. Like, they were laughing, but no one else was. Like, no one that watched them do it
you were just
laughed.
Groaning.
And I think the way I described it in the show, because it's impossible not to compare this to Teen Titans Go, because it is a clone of a show in almost every way, except that it's a failure. But like, I think the way that I described it was one of the problems I have with Teen Titans Go is sometimes Beast Boy gets on my nerves. And this show was like, with the Thundercats, they gave almost everybody Beast Boy's personality. So that there was no fun to be had. It was just all, like you said, slapstick. Everybody was just a lunatic. And it sucked.
Even the straight man they had in Tigra, like, he wasn't even smart. Like, at least make your straight man smart enough to understand that everyone else is being ridiculous. He was just ridiculous in a different way.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to hear us rag on this more, go listen to episode 248 where we covered it.
Yeah, and then we'll just, you can hear us continue to destroy this thing with our voices.
So, the 7th award we handed out was the Surprise Inside Award, which was the biggest surprise for the year. And for me, it was episode 233, which you already talked about, Samurai Jack from 2001. It was the biggest surprise for me because it had been one that I'd heard about for years and years and years, and just ended up never watching for one reason or another. No specific reason. It just didn't, I don't know. I couldn't find it, et cetera, et cetera. I have excuses, but no real reasons. So now that we finally got around to it, I was completely in love with it and ended up devouring all 5 seasons really quickly. And that really further deepened my appreciation for Genndy Tartakovsky's work in general. Jack is just a near silent, like, imperfect protagonist, but that makes him even better. And he's literal anachronism since he's flung far into the future by a coup. So I didn't even know it took place in the future coming into it. So that was just an interesting take on it. This samurai thrown out of his own time. And I'd say, like, the animation's solid. The action scenes were amazing. And even though it had a great deal of levity in the form of, like, some silly side characters and humorous moments, the looming threat of Jack losing still felt very real. Like, it never seemed like, it was all too easy or too funny or anything like that. You still felt the dread surrounding him, especially in that last season.
Yeah.
So if you still haven't seen this show, I encourage you to give it a shot. And I'd be really surprised if you weren't hooked after a few episodes like I was.
Gotta get back. That song gets stuck in my head all the time now.
Understandable.
Don't play the game. It's hard and it's glitchy.
Oh, well, you do play the game, but don't put it on hard mode because it's hard in a way where the enemies just become damage sponges, and it's not, like, done in the right way. But the game itself, I think, on normal mode is good. I think it's a good game and a good recap of the show. Just don't do it on hard mode.
Oh, wait, it was your computer that was glitchy. It wasn't really the game. I forgot about that. When
we
were streaming
it wasn't the game.
Like, it crashed like a billion times, but it ended up being something
for whatever
wrong with
reason.
you.
I have no idea why.
It was you.
Yeah, that was my fault, not the game's fault.
I chose a cartoon that we reviewed in episode 251. That would be Costume Quest. This, there was no way. There's no way I expected a cartoon based off a video game to actually be good. Because, like, I mean, let's consider the track records of some of the other ones. You think of the Mario cartoons, some of them are okay, most of them pretty bad. You get the Zelda one that's, like, mixed in with Mario, it's really bad.
Excuse me, princess.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Most of the Sonic cartoons, garbage. Not all of them. Most of them. Mega Man, mostly garbage. Donkey Kong Country, dumpster fire. It's Captain and the Game Master, another dumpster fire. That one behind a Taco Bell. They're so bad. So all these cartoons based on video games, it doesn't inspire a whole lot of faith. But they elevated that game of Costume Quest to a new level, to the point where I think the show is better than the game, in my opinion. I say that because we did play the game after reviewing it, and I had suspected, like, when we were talking about it, since we reviewed it first, the show, we suspected that they had added a lot of lore to the show, and we were right about that. And but that's honestly where a lot of the magic is, I think. The game was still super fun. It's great to experience. The mechanics are really cool. It's got some amazing, like, fight dynamics and stuff. I like the timing and the idea that, like, you know, you put on different costumes to get different abilities. That's so cool. But to me, the show was a complete hit and added so much more. It built up this whole world so well. And it made me want to watch and see so much more of this world because I feel like there's so much story to tell than where it left off. So I absolutely adored it and would love to see more.
Yeah, that was a good choice and a big surprise. So
absolutely,
that would have been on my short list too for this award.
Heck yeah. I would also say Glitch Text as a runner-up, like a honorable mention, as it were, because it was great.
Right, another big surprise.
Yes, we were surprised a lot. And also Devil's a Part-Timer. That was also a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Because I loved that show.
I would have never expected that to be as good as it was.
I know. It's crazy.
It's been a surprising year.
We got a lot of really good stuff this year. So thank you, everyone, for suggesting like really good ones this year.
And some straight garbage, which leads us well into our eighth award, which is the Dirty Spoon Award, or the worst thing that we watched this year.
Yeah.
What was yours? We might be on the same page here, but go ahead.
You know what it was. We reviewed it, episode 244. It's the Christmas tree.
Okay, yeah.
It's
definitely.
This is not only the worst cartoon we saw all year. This is probably the worst cartoon we've seen of all time. And I don't mean just for the show.
Ever.
I mean, in my entire life, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I'm so glad that we actually got to watch that together in the same room.
Yes.
Because suffering through it alone would have been pure torture.
It would have been bad, but like, things looked out where you and I were we were in the same space for like, once, which hardly ever happens. And oh my God, we were laughing through that so much. We had to rewind scenes so many times because like we were laughing so hard and just couldn't believe what we were seeing because nothing made any sense with the choices that were made.
The voice acting was all just like really bad, really phoned in. The audio quality was shoddy. You remember the robot kid?
Oh yeah.
And then like nobody wanted to be there, understandably so. And Santa was terrifying. He had some really deep,
so
like
scary,
modulated voice. Oh,
yes, Merry Christmas. Yeah, and they were constantly reusing scenes to the point that they broke their own film and caused a plot hole by the missing girl showing up in a scene that she was supposed to be missing in. But it's just because they were so lazy, they were reusing footage and they just were like, whatever, who cares? Just print. Just go.
Nobody's paying attention to this.
Yeah.
Santa, before Santa even brought her back, she was in the scene.
Yes, exactly. Ugh. All of it was so bad. And you talked about the voice acting being garbage. That's odd to me in the fact that it's like, I can understand if like some of the acting portion like doesn't sound just right, because we've even heard like really good voice actors not deliver the best lines sometimes, and that comes down to the vocal directing and everything. But
sure,
if you can't even understand what they're saying, how hard is it to be like, hey, can you just take that again? Nope, not here. Like, it's like if someone managed to stumble through a drunken semblance of the English language in this, like while recording this, they were like, yeah, sure, put it in the final cut. It's great.
Yeah, that was like the scene where they were on the sled together.
Yes.
And I don't remember what they even said, but it was just like,
yeah.
Like we can understand it at the time. I still don't understand it now.
I think it was like something about going through the window. It's like, run up and out the window.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And, like you and I were freaking out. Like, what is this? What is this?
Because he was like, how did you get out here? He's like, not if I sneak through the window. Yeah.
It's almost impossible to understand what they're saying. And they were just like, that's acceptable.
Easily could have been remedied. Just like, give me another take, please.
Just say it one more time. Say it like you know how to use your mouth. Just try it that way.
We've only rented out this studio for 30 minutes, so just whatever first take goes.
Do you think they just like held like, I don't know, like a little voice recorder up to their child and were like, say these lines? And then they're like, okay, they're not going to do it again because I ran out of candy. So they're not going to do it again. We're done.
Oops.
Yeah, it was bad. But this is what I want to do. I would love to watch it again, even though this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'd love to watch it again in a room full of people when we're not in a pandemic and play a drinking game to it because my goodness.
What would the game be?
I don't know. It would have
every time someone what?
Like, I don't know. It'd have to be like every time you notice like an animation mistake or something like that, you got to take a drink.
No, that would kill everyone.
Everyone would die in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, there's got to be a way. And I bet there's one that exists out there already. But I just feel like I've got to have some sort of fun at the expense of the people that made this, because of that amount of time they took away from me. So I'm going to do it.
Well, I'm glad we were in agreement there.
Yes, absolutely.
So on the opposite end of that spectrum, for our 9th award, the Silver Spoon Award, which was the best movie,
I chose Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular, which we reviewed in episode 252. And I say that because we only watched a few movies this year, and out of the ones that we watched, that was definitely my favorite one. Christmas Tree, as we just talked about, was garbage.
Yeah.
The Polar Express wasn't my favorite, but you know what? Spooky Godmother, didn't expect to enjoy it, but it was refreshingly fun, especially with all the friendly takes on the classic horror monsters. And that led to so many just great and fun jokes. Even some of them that kind of missed their mark, like the one about Abraham Lincoln's assassination. But just
oh my God,
the idea that they tried, that was fun.
But it fell flat to everyone on the movie too. So it's like, that they understood that it was a bad joke from Dracula, who is trying to fit in.
Yeah, the absurdity of it is what made it. Granted, like I said, it's got its issues. Like the CG was, like the characters and how they looked, like the kids were disgusting. They look so gross. But there is a lot of fun to it. I love the design of like the home when they get there, the witch's house. There's a lot of really fun things to like. The characters were really fun. I liked the scary godmother, the witch, the skeleton was great. The vampires, the werewolf was so funny when he was doing all of his like Shakespearean stuff, especially at the end when he was doing his death scene. Oh my God, that was so good.
Where Scary Godmother's just like, all right, wrap it up.
Yeah. So it just like, it just put a smile on my face, and it was just something really fun. So I couldn't pass that up. I had to give that one the award.
I'm still hunting for that omnibus of the comics, because even though the animation of the movie was less than desirable, the drawings themselves are so good.
Yes.
They're amazing. And I love that art style. So I want to get the whole collection of it, not digitally, like the physical copy, but that is so hard to find. And people are trying to upsell it for so much because of how rare it is. But still, like, that is my never-ending mission until I'm able to actually find that book.
Well, that's why I wish that they had done more of that in the movie, because when you get into her house, that stuff, like the background there looks like her drawings, but everything else is done with that really bad reboot CG.
Ugh, yeah.
That's what, I just wish they had used that same art style for everything, because then it would have been amazing.
That was a good choice, though. Like, that would have been my second choice. For me, though, I chose episode 255, The Polar Express, because it was a nice end-of-the-year surprise for me. I hadn't really been interested in the movie before, even though I'd known about it. I just didn't have any interest. But after we finally watched it, that's going to be part of my regular holiday rotation now, I think. I really liked it. It was pretty wild once it got moving, and it felt like those kids were in legitimate danger aboard that train. But I do appreciate the lesson that was passed on to all the kids. I think Tom Hanks did a great job at, differentiating most of his characters. Like Santa, I didn't even know that was him. And I love the way that they presented Santa too, as just like towering figure. Like, he looked awesome. And seeing it from the perspective of the kids, like, that was a great way to actually not shoot it, but design it, since it was all the CG. But it reminded me, like, the final message about it was really sweet too, about only true believers hearing the bells. And it was a good reminder for me that I need sometimes to help keep my holiday spirit alive. So I think that movie did a great job.
It also introduced us to the know-it-all kid. It was like one of the most obnoxious kids I've ever seen in anything.
He was not my favorite part of the movie, but...
Yeah, I know, it's a magic train. Actually, it's a Baldwin 284 S3 class Berkshire type steam locomotive in 1931.
But what was great about that, though, even though we didn't like that character, is how much it reminds us of certain people we know.
Yes.
And that's where it's like, okay, I understand this character is very real because I know people like this.
Yeah, it definitely did that. And here's something that's really funny that cracked me up. So and this is related, I promise. So one of our sister podcasts, A Little Spooky, in their holiday episode that they did, I believe it was about Krampus. Towards the end, Everett had Colleen take some sort of really weird quiz that was kind of basing her, it was like challenging her knowledge about Christmas lore, having to do with like old folklore and stuff around Christmas and things. And he was going to tell her what Christmas character she was based off of her answers. So she got some right, she got some wrong, and she ended up getting Know-It-All Kid from from Polar Express.
Wow.
She was not happy about it, but I loved that because we had just done Polar Express, and
that's
just
awesome.
Knowing Colleen as well as I do, that made me really happy. So I just had to mention that.
That's good. Yeah. I need to take that test too, and hopefully not get Know-It-All Kid.
I kind of hope you do.
Oh, don't wish that on me. All right, so to wrap the show up with our 10th award, which is the Golden Spoon Award, Best Overall, this is what we watched this year that was our overall favorite, whether it was a movie, a show, an anime, whatever. Our favorite thing that we actually watched this year. And for me, it again will be episode 245, Glitch Text from 2020.
I knew it.
You knew? Okay, see, because it just has everything that I love about cartoons in it. I love the animation style. You know, I love that it's focused on video games, which are a huge part of my life. And I think it's because, like, also it's a fun show that's full of pop culture and video game references, especially for folks from our generation. And I really appreciated that about it. And I think just it has a really fun premise. It has charming characters, great humor, and an awesome, like, retro-inspired soundtrack as well. So it's a show that it's one of the two shows actually that I completely binged through after we recorded this and Samurai Jack. And I think it's definitely worth checking out for the right audience. So honestly, I hope more people actually watch it so I can get more seasons of it. So you right now listening, yes, you, go watch Glitch Text on Netflix right now. Well, not right now, but after this episode, please, because I need it to get more seasons.
Exactly. Go do it. You know what? I'll go watch it. I promise. I haven't watched all of it yet.
You'll really enjoy it.
Okay, I'll go.
You haven't even seen the Castle Crawl episode, the Castlevania episode yet.
I'm going. I'm going.
It definitely like concreted my love for it.
I'll do it after dinner, I promise.
The Golden Spoon Award for me goes to Glitch Text.
Okay. My Golden Spoon Award goes, drum roll. That's my drum roll. My Golden Spoon Award goes to Infinity Train, episode 240. I love this show, man. I went back and watched every episode of this so fast. You know, as I talked about earlier, it's got so much heart to it. Lots of intrigue and such a mysterious story that overlaps with different types of characters and things like that. Tons of charm. Just more charm than Ryan Reynolds has. And limitless creativity with the way that the story is set up. Because basically you've got like pocket dimensions in each train car. So it's just like the amount of stuff that you see is just crazy. There and there's so much funny stuff, but there's also lots of there's some aspects of horror and adventure and action and sci-fi and fantasy all built into it too, because of all the different types of train cars and the overlapping story as well. Plus, each season gives us a refreshing new take since it's an anthology series. So we get some new characters and new perspectives to see how multiple types of beings deal with surviving or even dying while they're on the train. And man, do some of them die. And those can be pretty gut-wrenching to see. My only regret about the show is that it was canceled and that we don't get any more of it. But my God, I would watch more of this in a heartbeat. It was absolutely my favorite cartoon we reviewed in 2021. I would love for this to get a comeback and for us to get more of it for 2022. Hands down, would sell a dear friend and podcast host's soul to get more of this show.
Oh,
I would sell a co-host soul for this.
I like that you think my soul is worth that much.
Yeah.
I think this is one that I definitely need to watch through it all. And maybe I would have come to the same conclusion had I done so, because Glitch Text was one that I watched all of and you didn't, and I made that choice. And then you watched all of this one and I didn't, and you chose Infinity Train. So maybe it's just a matter of us like absorbing all of it so it became more dear to us.
Now we got to switch. We have to switch tech.
Yeah.
We have to switch train.
Got to switch the train. But both great shows, though, in their own regards. Again, this was a really tough year to choose some of these. I'm glad we were on the same page with a lot of them, but I also feel it's good that we were able to have our different opinions on some so that we can show that we're not just making the same decisions all the time. And there are multiple shows out there that are great for different reasons.
Absolutely. And man, we did have some really good ones this year and some real stinkers this year. So thank you to everybody that has submitted things for us to watch. I'm not gonna lie, the list is so long now that the chances that we're gonna get to a specific one are so slim because of how much stuff has been submitted. We're looking at a list that's over 400 long, and we only do so many episodes a year. So your best bet is to get you and your friends to the ranker list to vote for the ones you want. That's your best bet if you really want it to get picked.
I'm thinking that we still need to do something with Patreon to make it where people who are actually subscribing can help guide us on what we watch next. And therefore, if they're contributing to the Patreon, they're able to make these choices so that they can elevate their own shows to the top.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we've been talking about that very thing. So that's kind of like maybe our soft introduction, talking about that will be an opportunity at some point this year. We're actually talking about adding a lot of things to I say a lot, adding more things to Patreon.
Some things.
Yeah. Yes. We want to add more things to Patreon this year. We want to commit to doing that. We're hopefully going to be making a lot of changes this year for Cartoon Boom and for Nerd Sloth in general, all for the better, adding some new and fresh things. But we will let everybody know when that happens. So again, thank you though for listening, for submitting things, and for voting on the ranker list and all of that good stuff. So we appreciate it.
For any of our current patrons, we both really appreciate you. And now it's time for us to start giving more back for the contributions that you've provided. And for anyone who's not a current patron, now's your chance to jump in and start getting some good stuff from the start.
Yeah, you can go to patreon.com/nerdsloth. There is already a bonus episode on there that you definitely have not heard before. Is us reviewing Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, which was a ridiculous cartoon that was created in the 90s that was to try to keep kids off drugs. And they combined like every cartoon character you could think of, from like Garfield and Alf to the Ninja Turtles and like Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Smurfs. They're all in one cartoon. If you've ever want to hear one of the Chipmunks say the word marijuana, then you're going to want to listen to that episode. It's pretty great.
Oh, yes.
So it's there.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2022.
Woo!
Thank you for continuing to listen for all these years or however long you have been. We appreciate you. We love you. But it looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And in 2 weeks, we'll be watching
The Amazing World of Gumball, submitted via Twitter by @DocTrancy, via Apple Podcasts by Epic Otter, via YouTube by Noah Snodgrass, and via Apple Podcasts by Inoza Caddy. Yeah, a lot of people we're saying, you know what, let's go into 2022 strong. Let's do the one that's being recommended the most. This is the cartoon that the most people have recommended, and let's give the people what they want starting out this new year fresh.
Finally, is what I hear all the people shouting, because they have been hounding us about this forever.
And you know what? I already know that there's at least 2 other people that have recommended this that I forgot to put your name on this, and I'm so sorry.
Let's just say recommended by everyone.
Recommended by the world. So we're finally doing it. So I hope that you're all happy and excited for it. We have some episodes recommended for us to watch from it, but just let us know what you're expecting, like what you think we'll say about it, what you think we're going to think about it. That sounds real Inception-y, but talk amongst yourselves, and I'm interested to see what you guys are expecting us to come at it with.
Yeah, reach out on Twitter. Send us some important Gumball stuff that we won't understand until we actually watch it.
Send us some twits. Send us some Gumball memes that we won't understand.
Yeah, that won't make any sense to us
until we get there, because that'll be fun.
Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm 2022 Chris.
And we'll see you in 2 Saturdays.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.